In episode 4 of season 6, Melisandre says that Jon Snow is the prince who was promised, who the people that follow the Lord of Light call Azor Ahai reborn. But by this point, whatever she says is untrustworthy.
I will do as Jon Snow commands.
You serve Jon Snow now.
He's the prince that was promised.
Forgive me, my lady, I'd have thought that was Stannis.
Not only are her visions untrustworthy, we now know she's been hiding her true appearance for a reason. It's in order to gain people in power's trust a lot more easily. Looking younger and more attractive allows her to manipulate people and not be called old and senile. But we can't just pass her character off as always being wrong. Her magic is real, she's just bad at interpreting visions. Melisandre is from a place called Asshai. If you thought she was creepy, this city is an actual nightmare in comparison. It's a dark port city where people travel to only to trade goods, and very few people live here. No children are in Asshai, and the people that do live here have their faces completely covered and travel alone. Melisandre, like many other people from Asshai, is a shadowbinder. Like the name suggests, she can control shadows. This is the magic that she and Stannis Baratheon used to kill his younger brother Renly. Melisandre is brought to Stannis because she believed he was Azor Ahai reborn. Azor Ahai was a legendary man who was responsible for stopping the White Walkers thousands of years ago. Almost every culture has a different name for him. She was wrong about Stannis being the promised prince, but maybe she saw Stannis in her weird fiery visions to lead her to Jon Snow. Stannis is the reason she meets Jon.
This war of 5 kings means nothing. The true war lies to the north, my king. Death marches on the wall. Only you can stop it.
Melisandre is now going to follow and try to be an advisor to Jon, the same way she was to Stannis. But Melisandre isn't the only Red Priestess claiming she's found the promised prince. A Red Priestess in Volantis, which is kind of a home base for the Savage religion, believes the savior is a woman. She calls the savior the Dragon Queen, referring to Daenerys. So why are these red freaks in search of a savior? They believe there are 2 gods, R'hllor, the god of light and fire, that they serve, and his eternal enemy, the Great Other. The Great Other, you guessed it, is the god of cold, darkness, and death. They also believe that the White Walkers, which are called the Others in the books, are his children or servants. We know that they are a real and growing threat, so maybe the followers of R'hllor aren't so evil if they're trying to stop them and save everyone. The White Walkers and their dead army can't be killed by any regular weapon. You need to use either a dragonglass or Valyrian steel. Jon Snow is one of very few in Westeros with a Valyrian steel sword, but what Daenerys has is 3 dragons. We know the White Walkers' zombie army can be taken out with fire, but we don't know what dragonfire does to the actual White Walkers. Regardless, she can take out the entire army with her dragons from above. So maybe what these Red Priestesses are seeing in their visions are people who can stop this impending war. This prophecy of a promised prince goes beyond the followers of the Lord of Light. Many Targaryens were obsessed with prophecies. Rhaegar Targaryen, Daenerys' older brother, once believed he was a promised prince. Daenerys and Rhaegar's grandfather, Jaehaerys II, had the Mad King Aerys and his sister Rhaella married because an old woman who lives in the Riverlands of Westeros had a vision and said the prince that was promised would be born in their line. Rhaegar stopped believing he was a promised prince after seeing the Red Comet fly over King's Landing the night his son Aegon was conceived. He then believed his son was a promised prince. The Red Comet signifies different things to different people. Melisandre believes it's a sign of the return of dragons, and it just so happens the Red Comet appears when Dany's dragons hatched from their eggs. If this prophecy of a promised prince or Azor Ahai reborn does happen to be true, the one who fits it is Daenerys. But in a story like Game of Thrones, prophecies aren't something simple that is set in stone. What will most likely happen is them working together and not be one promised prince. You guys can let me know if you agree with me or believe otherwise in the comments. Thanks for watching.